I'm working on reading a contract that Wanagi had on his channel yesterday. They are not easy to read. Um, Gotta try a few times. And so I'm going to do that at some point this morning and post it. But the question, I wanted to change this, that I'm asking today is um, unity in our community, separate then unify is the answer. Now, I recently subscribed to a YouTube channel that I listened to yesterday where they were having a panel discussion. And, I think I'm going to stop uh, commenting in chats and on the channel's YouTube content because, well, I'm represented by the majority of the women in our community. And I'm not sure if the majority of the women in our community are being misrepresented because it could be that the majority are quiet, but I'm trying to create an atmosphere where the quiet ones, meaning the ones who are not speaking out, can call in to have an opportunity to have some discussion about community issues without sharing your YouTube channel. And so I'm represented from the point of view of the men that I have been listening to by women who don't care about them, don't care about the productive male in our community, don't care about themselves really, which is pointed out by citing what has happened on a large scale to the boys in our community, what has happened to the relationships between men and their counterpart, women who they would otherwise be dating and marrying. And so I want to talk about this. I love to start having a conversation with women, whether they're like minded or not, but to start having some productive conversation about the issues that pertain to us as a community. So lately, the last few posts that I have on my channel are specifically speaking to whether the educated woman was supposed to replace the homemaker. Was she supposed to become what is average? So I'm going to just leave this posted, and I'm going to make me a cup of tea. And I might be talking a little bit while I'm doing that, but this is just a break that I'm going to take and leave the number posted and hope maybe someone calls in a few minutes. I definitely don't intend to stay on this live stream for very long, maybe 30 minutes. So, excuse me. I was thinking about something. I was thinking about like the importance of me doing this, and if it's if it's something that I should just keep working at, if it's somehow productive at all. Hey, Wanagi, peace and love to you. I've been working on that contract. I'm going to be uh, reading that. I'm going to do that this morning. It's kind of, those are not easy to read if you're not if you haven't read them a lot. And so that cursive writing, but, I've read a few contracts, and but it's some words that I'm not gonna be able to hash out. So trying to figure out how I'll do that. I'll just say maybe pause here. This word is unreadable. But what I was doing is I'm going to use Kind Master, and I'm snap shooting, and I'm going to actually have that have the letter have the contract posted while I read. I appreciate that you're okay with me reading that. I know a lot of people are not going to even try to read that because um, thank you. Okay, good. You know, so I've been kind of talking about some other issues that are going on in our community that I feel is kind of going hand in hand with the um, community that we are both in together, being the Indigenous American, and that there are so many movements that are happening within our communities, the so-called Black community, and just trying to reach out to the women folk about what has happened and we need to what we need to either do about it or what we can learn from what has happened. And so I kind of trying to think of some mission statement that would make it cohesive, that I am firstly uh, working on and suggesting that we all commit to doing our genealogy. That that's very important. That getting back to who we are is uh, foundational. And so that's why I have that's why my question here today is really piggybacking. I was recently listening to a panel where last night and before, these panels that I've been listening to lately have a lot to do with men who are determined to save themselves, and who could how could that be debatable? I don't see how that could be debatable. I thought about it this last night, uh, that it's inevitable that men, in particular, being the leaders of the world, are going to uh, be the the lead. Are going to always be the lead in making movements to establish communities, and that women folk are an aid and helpmate to the men. And so I'm making a cup of tea. So I'm uh, getting my water together. But if that was left open, it's because it really is really an open subject. It's something that I want to talk about, and I want to. I use the word cohesive. I want to be dealing with the facts of the matter that we are separating in our communities, but that is a natural process, an inevitable process, and that unifying on the other end of that is the new communities that will be the outcome. nothing wrong with that. And people are going to, in general, um, the women folk and children who are, I want to say, left behind, but I really don't think that I could call it left behind, who are still in the communities that we need to separate from, are going to have to consciously move in order to move in a productive way. I'm gonna have to rewind that, but I think it made sense. So I'm gonna finish this, making my cup of tea. My water's out. Okay, so I'm not gonna stay. I wasn't gonna stay on here too long, and I think it's already been like 30 minutes. Uh, and I may have said enough. I'm going to. One of the things that I'm going to do or stop doing is taking down my posts because of some insecurity. Maybe I said too much, or maybe I went on some tangent and said something that I want to take back. I don't know, but I'm just trying to bring my authentic self, and I'm trying to be genuine and stay genuine in this endeavor to the endeavor to grow. Maybe that's what the truth is, the endeavor to proceed. Let me see how you say on here. Right. Yeah, it's my off day, so I'm off of that plantation for the next 22 hours or so. But thank you for tuning in, and thank you for joining me in the chat. I appreciate it. So I wanted to say, this is just to anyone else that might listen to or be listening, that this, yes, I am trying to reach out to my, oh, you know something? I thought I was sharing the phone number, but it doesn't appear that I am. I don't know why I'm not, because, oh yeah, it was sharing. I just don't see it from my phone. I was I'm looking at this on my phone so that I can see if someone comes in, because I'm sharing my full screen, so I can't see what someone listening might see unless I put um, unless I'm watching it like a listener is watching it. So okay, the number is posted then, and I wanted to make it clear that although I want to speak with women folk, I am open to speaking to anyone about this issue. What I was going to say early that I was thinking about, I may have said already, but I'm going to say again if I haven't. When I go to other spaces where men are talking and it is a man, it's it's for a male audience. It's not it doesn't feel appropriate to comment or get on the panel or yeah, be in the chat, publicly. But it doesn't, you know, just listening in and not saying you're present. I don't know. It feels like not the right thing to do. So, so I want to say here on my channel that at this point, I want to talk to anyone who wants to talk about these subjects. My aim is to speak with women folk and to change the representation of women folk in our community. So I do wonder about that. I don't really know what proper solicitation would be, or even if that is something that I can do. Just putting this out here and leaving this public might be the only part that I am supposed to do. So, with that, I am going to go ahead and sign off. Peace and love to y'all. Look for my post where I'll be reading the contract of indentured of a family or and yeah, it's more than one, but an indentured servant's contract. I'm going to start working on that now. Thanks for tuning in, y'all. Peace and love.